Jim, there's a late finish there which could have seen AFC Fylde snatch a point at home, but unfortunately it's a 3-2 defeat to Torquay. What did you make of the game?
Well, I think a lot of the games that we've played have been very tight. You look at recently Stockport, Barnet, even Sheffield United to a certain extent in the end, but it was very much like that today. But I just think we come up short in the odd percent here and there. I think it's an honest performance, it's a competitive performance. We expect them to be a little bit more aggressive because I think when I speak about small margins, they were probably a little bit, percentage here, a little bit more wanted, a little bit, played the pitch a little bit better than us, looked a little bit more physical. Only a little bit in certain areas, but obviously when it is tight games, the fine margins come into play. So we're disappointed because we got ourselves into a good lead. A fantastic goal by Tom for his first goal on his debut, and then we had a little bit of bad luck because for me it was never a corner. We were right behind it. They've put it in, but the lad just wants to get there a little bit more than what our player did. On a set play, which we've been quite good on until the last couple of weeks. Southport last week and this week as well. So after that, again, just a little bit off it. They get in, score a good goal. The lad Reid, who's a good player, has got plenty of goals. We've given too much, space to get it in, too much space on the turn. A little bit off it again. And as I say, we kept plugging away. We've created loads of chances. And football, you need confidence, you need momentum. We've had the best chances to get back to 2-2. The one with Jordan squares it back to Tom Walker, open goal, and he puts it wide somehow. That was bizarre how it never got on the back of the net, and suddenly that goes 2-2. It's great. Again, the other end, shot comes in, Sam makes the save, and the lad just wants it a little bit more, gets on the end of it, puts it in the net, 3-1. Kept plugging away. Bradders had a good chance. I think Nick Horton had a good chance. We got back to 3-2. We huffed and puffed towards the end, but we lose the game. So on reflection, I'll keep saying they're an honest group and they're giving it their all, but I think we come up short in most areas today by the odd percent. And as I say, when the games are tight, they're the percentages that you need to make sure you turn in your favour, and that's what they've done today against us, and they win the game.
Obviously, the scoreline 3-2 today means it's 3-goal ships. When you first came in, obviously the big positive was at the back, things had shored up defensively. Can you put a finger on why that maybe seems to have slipped in recent weeks?
It happens. Football's like that. You're proud of what you're doing. 7 clean sheets in the first 10 games, and if you just look at us now, certainly today, the little tiny bits that you got to get right. We have a thing on there about key points of with the ball and without the ball, and that might be a clearance which led to for the second goal. Certainly from a set play for the first goal. It's following in for second balls for the third goal. And there was a couple of other bits and pieces within the game that we need to get better. So, there's trust in the players, but it takes a little bashing when you can see 3 at home, because that shouldn't happen for me. And we've got to be a little bit more robust. We've done a session on Thursday where we put a back 8 under the cosh for 28 minutes. There wasn't a goal conceded, didn't even look like scoring. And then you come here today, and as I say, it's just those fine margins, and they were just coming up short. And the one where Ace at all, who I thought was great for them, got in and got the header. And the other little bits and pieces, and they just got it a little bit more right than us today. And as I say, we've got to accept that, and we've got to learn from it. We've got to make sure that we come out fighting in a sticky position, and only us can get out of it. Been there before. We've got to remain calm. We've got to work extra hard, which we are doing. As I say, credit to them with regards to how they go about training, their attitude, the team spirit, but we expect them to put a little bit more on the pitch come match day. That's where we're coming up short at the minute, and confidence and momentum is massive. You get yourself up today 1-0, you're going great, come on. I think we had another opportunity to make it 2 where Jordan Williams went through on his left foot. On another day we should score a lot more than the 2 that we did. And it could have been a different story, but those little fine dividing lines, we've got to make sure that we gain more than what we're not at the minute, and that a lot of that's to do with defensive play, as you say, and that's where we've got to make sure that we tighten everything up.
Next up for the coach is a trip to Chesterfield, who've also struggled this season and see themselves just in the relegation zone. I mean, it goes without saying really, but this is a massive game, isn't it?
They're all massive games from here on in. They've been massive games since we come to the club. We'll treat them all exactly the same. We want to win every game. we've got to get points on the board, because you know, it's not a case of 4 games to go and we've got to win all 4, but we've got to guard against, you know, leaving ourselves too much to do. It's not a nice position. In the past I've been in this position, I know what to expect, I know how to work it. So we've just got to make sure that, what I said to the lads there, it's about sticking together. You know, and if the fingers pointed at certain lads today, that has been, we've got to take it on the chin, and we've got to make sure that when we come out next week, that they're not going to be the one who's getting the finger pointed at them. They've got to have that, you know, defend at all costs. It's about life and death for me, and I say, keep going back to what's on the board with regards to reminders and things like that. You've got to make sure that we, as a group, we step up to the plate, we accept the challenges and embrace the challenges that come on our way. It's Chesterfield up next, there's loads of football to play, but we've got to get the foot on the gas as soon as possible. Today was a good opportunity for us. On another day we may have won it, on another day we may have drawn it. We lost it because just a little 1% there, 2% there, we just come up a little bit short.
Thanks, Jim.